It's not a podcast.
It's a GarCast.
And this is the world according to Gar.
Hello and welcome to the world according to Gar. You are listening to GarCast episode number 293. I am Gar. With me as always is the GarFather.
Gar, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you?
I am great. An afternoon cast. I don't come into afternoon cast as good as I do when I do in the morning, I feel, but let's give it a go.
A lot going on by the time the afternoon rolls around. More things are blowing up, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So let's see. See what we got 2 times in a row.
All right, good. Well, welcome to the show.
Last time you were ridiculously late, and it was like a 45-minute GarCast. At least this time you were on time. I appreciate that.
Somebody else not on time. That would be our special guest.
Hey!
DenBob.
Hello, and thanks for the accommodation. I know how hard it is in the middle of the day. But my middle of the day starts earlier. So when you think it's a morning cast, it's afternoon for me.
Well, what time does your day start? Let's break it down. Show off.
Oh, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. What are you doing?
Yeah.
How does your day start at 6 o'clock?
God, I take a shower. Jumping in the shower.
Oh, all right. Now we're
That's
talking
not
work day. Work day.
Well, listen, I shower for work. That's part of my work day.
All right. I don't. Okay. I think it's been a few days, actually. On that.
Really? I know you're not a big shower guy, Mike, so... And with you not running as much, I'm sure the showers have diminished.
Been pretty good. I think I'm due, though.
I try to... I usually shower now that I'm mostly a work-from-home kind of guy. I would say around, like, 10:30 to 11:30 window, depending on what's going on with meetings and stuff like that.
I will say, Tuesday, I got out of bed and I showered. Because I had a call at 9 with cameras.
Ooh.
And I was reminded of, it's nice to start the workday with a shower. But
No other way.
I feel like I need to start doing that more often. It was good. I showered before I woke the kids up. Felt ready to go.
Make the bed and shower. No better way to start the day.
I don't make beds. I pull the blankets back up. That counts.
I
have a 20-pound weighted blanket. I could, tear my shoulder out.
It'll be like an early morning workout.
That's true. Well, that's what it is getting out of bed.
Yeah. I don't think I'd make it out of bed. You like the 20... So that might be too much for me. 20-pound weighted blanket. Might crush me. I'd have trouble breathing.
I'm telling you, that is a concern. When we first got it, I felt like I was being crushed. But now I'm used to it. It's great. Never slept better.
I like the idea. I may consider it.
Yeah.
Give it
I've never been a big fan of the weighted blankets, but... No.
Well,
Does it help you retain heat? I mean, is that... So I would think that, if you were going to try and keep warm in the outside, you'd have layers of blankets, which would insulate you by... the air actually helps, because the cold can't get through all the layers. Whereas I'm thinking, weighted blanket would just conduct. It would conduct the cold down. No. It
keeps me... We put a... I go, this is good. Let's go around the horn here. How we sleep. What's on the bed? This is interesting because people are very different.
Very different. Yeah, and even in my own home.
Right. If you have specific, my house, my kids, they sleep weirdly. We are now a sheet, weighted blanket, then a light bedspread on top of the weighted blanket.
No top sheet.
So no. So I wasn't counting the sheet I was laying on. I'm talking about what's on top of me. So top sheet over me, right? Sheet, weighted blanket, additional light, bedspread blanket.
Okay.
What about you?
So in my house, the big diversity is you have the fitted sheet that goes over the mattress.
Of course.
I like another sheet, same material on top of me. So it's a sandwich of sheets.
That's right. That's what I said.
And then a blanket. I get that.
Okay, just making sure.
My kids, no sheet. They just want the fitted sheet straight to the blanket.
Yeah, that's weird.
Well, it's weird. They did it. It comes out of laziness. It spawns from laziness because it's easier to make a bed if you only have one layer.
Right.
And then they just go into they like it better. But I know it's just because it's easier to make the bed.
And so you, just to be clear, are similar to me. Your sheet over you, sheet sandwich, but one blanket. I've always been two.
Well, no, I mean, I think as the coldness sets in, I will get additional blankets on top.
Right.
Better than just one heavy blanket,
yep.
Especially with our weather changing as much as it does.
Sure.
Even though the temperature is set for a certain thing, for some reason,
your house is probably the same all year round.
You would think, but it's not. But it's not. The 68 degrees in the wintertime takes a lot of blankets. 68 degrees in the summertime takes no blankets.
You may want to have somebody come over. Maybe your windows are drafty. I don't know what's going on there.
There's possible. It could be a draft. It could be coming from the AC vents. But I find
it's just it's in your head. It's winter. It's cold outside. Your body is attuned to what's going on out there.
Right. So just going back, you have the weighted blanket and nothing on top of that, or another one on top.
You really are a bad listener.
Another one word you said.
I said it like 3 times.
Okay, another one on but I'm visually making it in my head.
Right.
Even when I worked in the deli, I used to have to ask a couple of times for the sandwich.
You're excused. Go ahead.
The one on top, is it a thick, traditional blanket, or is it just another layer?
Just a layer. It's not a heavy comforter or anything.
Right. Okay.
I have always been at least 2 blankets on top of me and this is why I got the weighted blanket. I need to be pinned down. I need to be in there. I got to have some weight on me.
I can see why the blanket really helps with it. Yeah. What about socks?
Oh, well, now we're going to get into clothing.
Well, do you wear socks to bed?
No.
Barefoot.
No. Yeah, absolutely.
I wear one.
Which one?
Sock?
Right foot. Good question.
I just wanted to make sure it was on your feet.
Is that the one that's the outside foot that hangs out off the bed?
Or hangs off the bed.
Oh, I wake up if my feet end up hanging off the bed. I don't like that.
I might do that
because then I get the mix. I get the cold, the hot. I'm circulating.
Fine.
The blood is circulating and it's heating and cooling. I'm like a internal air conditioning unit.
I'm like a flat pillow guy. What about you?
The more pillows I have, the better.
Oh,
okay. Yeah. I like 2 under the head, 1 between the legs, maybe 1 to cuddle with.
I got into the cuddle with the pillow at some point.
But you have a wife for, no?
No.
Yeah, but you know what? It's more to support the shoulder.
As they get older, Gary, they got their temperatures.
No, dude, I know the temperature issues. They're very, very prominent in my house right now. It's constant sweats.
All right, so what? We saved you for last for a reason, because the listeners are dying to know.
Oh, they don't care.
How does the Gar bed down at night?
Similar. I mean, we have one sheet. Of course, like DenBob said, a fitted sheet.
Sheet sandwich.
A sheet sandwich, and then a very light comfort over top. If it's really cold, we might throw a little extra blanket over that. But it's very rare that it's got to be pretty freaking cold out. For that. And that's it.
Okay.
No socks. Okay. Underwear or no underwear. Very, back and forth.
Mando?
Oh, yeah. You sleep much better. It's very important. That's what Christine says when I tell her she should do the same thing. She's like, what if there's an emergency? I'm like, what emergency is there going to be?
And if there is, deal with it naked. It's fine.
Yeah. Dude,
for my fire department days.
Very important for your body temperature to be low when you sleep, which is why they say it's best to be naked.
Yeah, I just wear boxers, nothing else. If I fall asleep with a t-shirt on by accident, because sometimes when it's cold,
I'm like that.
I wake up in the middle of the night. I'm like, ah.
The only time I have any clothing on is if I'm sick. To try to make myself sweat.
Yeah, sick. I'll fall asleep with sweatpants on. Yeah.
I will wear a woolen hat when I'm sick, and I try to woolen hat, gloves, coat. If
like an old sleeping cap that people wore back in the 1900s.
Yeah. It's like before Christmas.
Like Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah. No, I'm a big fan. Of layer up, sweat it out, go to sleep. Yeah. You'll wake up feeling better. That's how I combat the flu.
Does the sheet iron the sheets when she makes the bed every morning?
Like what goes on there? I make the bed.
Oh, you do?
She's not a good bed maker.
Oh, interesting.
I don't.
Found a flaw.
I think as a kid, I don't think she made the bed a lot. This is my guess. I remember when we were dating, like she was like, she's like, oh, my mom's so mad. My room is such a mess, and I never make my bed. So I do the bed, but I'm the home guy, right? I do the dishes. I run the dishwasher. I do the laundry. I make the beds. I make breakfast, lunches. Like I should be doing that. I'm home.
Look at you.
So, but she's not good at. I have to go to bed in a bed that's made. So
good. Oh, I was going to bring up that question.
I do the bed making because when she makes it, it's shitty too. It's not.
See, I'm good. Like her. I'll just climb in, fix things up. Then Nancy will come up to bed and be like, "What the hell?" She'll literally rip all the stuff off the bed while I'm in it. And then make the bed open because I refuse to get up.
Yeah, I'm not that anal. Like if that's the way it is, but I prefer my bed to be made tight on the bottom so my feet sit in there.
You got to tuck in the front. I will not always do a full make. I will really pull it over. It looks neat.
Yeah.
But I'm not tucking the sheets, hospital corners every day.
I pull it all up and make sure it, I don't like the what did you refer to it? The fitted sheet to be exposed all day to the air. I like, you know what I mean? Like I like to get in that the blankets have been on it all day, even if not perfectly made to Gar standards. At least the blankets were pulled up over at the sheet and you climb in and everything feels right, You
know what they do in West Point and the Merchant Marine Academy? They have to have their bed made in 500 hours. Mm-hmm. So my cousin said what he did is they would have duct tape and they made the bed perfect and tight. And then they had another blanket that they threw on top of the bed, and that's how they slept. So Smart. All they did was wake up in the morning, was fold up that blanket, put it in the closet.
Smart.
And then
some genius came up with that and handed it down through the years. Very smart. Funny you say the Merchant Marine Academy. Another sign that we are living in a simulation, because one of the things I'm going to talk about today is the Merchant Marine Academy.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Simulation. Now, when you talk about simulation, are you talking like AI simulation, or are you talking like Destiny from a religious power?
No.
Simulation.
I mean, I'm talking, I guess you could go either way with it.
Right, because some people think that's what it is.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? God has his plan.
We'll get to what is
part of God's game.
Yeah. I think of it more like in the sense of that, like we're living it like the Matrix kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it's all like a video game we're in, and somebody's pressing some buttons here and there, throwing things out there. You know what I mean? Kind of like almost in Hunger Games when they're playing the game, and then you need something, and somebody sends it in, and it comes flying in and lands next to you, or whatever.
Is that somebody called God, or is that somebody
of course.
Just
call him whatever you wish.
God is probably is a higher power, right? A higher power could be somebody
could be right.
Somebody who lives on a planet, a couple light years away that's just running experiments on us. So whatever.
Right. Well, they're getting a lot of laughter out of me. I'm like their torture thing. They gave me to the kid, and they're like, "Let's fuck this guy and see what happens. See how he handles."
Wow.
Absolutely. I think that's probably what happens.
Yep.
Hey, let's take this Black Hawk helicopter and have it fly into a plane for no reason.
Ooh.
Is that not the most ridiculous? I haven't seen. I doubt they're giving any information away. I haven't watched any press conferences or anything today, but we're talking about folks, and I was all over that because I went to bed early last night. I'm like, let me just check Twitter, and I'm like, holy shit! Like it had just happened.
All right, that was such amazing coverage. So for those of you that are not on the Discord or the GarCast, if you went on Channel 12 News, obviously it's not going to be that good of coverage.
No.
If you went on CNN or Fox or any other coverage, we had it better on the Discord.
Definitely,
it was better. It was like you were on the tarmac of DC Airport as Mike issued these fact-checked, amazing stories about what was happening live, complete with pictures of the planes, supporting documentation. Honestly, Pulitzer Prize.
Thank you very much. Well, that's the beauty of that Flight Radar 24 app, which I've talked about. I love it. Like, it's amazing how much information. So there's people are speculating what the plane is, and then I went on there, I was fact checking what they were doing, and the plane they thought it was. I traced it. You can pull up the flight number. You can watch the whole flight, and literally, I put that screenshot. You see it. It's over the Potomac, and then boop, it's gone. It stops.
Amazing.
Like whoa, that was freaky.
That was so tragic. So
Yeah,
tragic.
I just, a couple of experts, I was sharing things like, I live in the flight pattern of JFK and LaGuardia, right? And there's so much plane traffic. Helicopters are always flying over Floral Park going east, west. There are, you assume, right? We all live and we think we're safe, that there's lots of safety measures. Gary comes from a long line of air traffic controllers.
Yeah, he could have.
These planes basically fly themselves at this point, and I would imagine a Black Hawk has the most sophisticated anti-collision devices on it, and my car freaks out if I try to change to the right lane.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what does a Black Hawk do if it's heading straight for a commercial airline?
A commercial airline's not going to move much. Where it's going.
Wait, who hit who?
The helicopter hit the plane.
The helicopter hit the plane.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it could have. I mean, I would imagine that the helicopter was going much slower than the plane.
They're both going pretty slow, but I would imagine, yes, it was. It wouldn't be able to catch it from behind. It hit it from the side.
So it just kind of veered into the lane.
It's just
possibly,
strange. I'm just saying, like, think about what my Honda Odyssey has on it as far as alarms. My wheel shakes. You know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to, the car stops if I'm going to rear end somebody. Like, these things have to have.
It's interesting that you say that. I have a friend of mine from high school. Her husband was a helicopter pilot. We should get him on the show.
I'd love to talk to that guy. Yeah.
In Washington.
Oh.
And he made the comment to me that he became an instructor as he got older. Flying in Washington in particular, which listen, I don't know how to fly anywhere, but he said there are like specific legitimate rules that have to be followed to be able to navigate Washington.
If it's a Black Hawk, that's
developing
military.
A Black Hawk helicopter, you might have to turn those devices off to navigate the special rules. Just like when I'm driving the Tesla, I know that this is a hairpin turn and it's going to miss the exit unless I take over.
I mean,
the Black Hawk might not have that in the technology.
I know. There's a lot.
Sort it out.
No, it's all on the table. It's just, and then there's I'm not spreading conspiracy theories, and nor I heard a good one, but it also makes you wonder: was it intentional? Who the hell was flying this thing?
You can't ignore that in this day and age.
Yeah,
you can't ignore that. Right.
But it's all on the table. It's just really, it's something that there's really no reason to happen unless some human lost their mind and did it intentionally, passed out at the wheel, or the machine, which I was reading things. I don't know if this is true. They're like Black Hawks can be flown remotely. Cars can. But
they haven't talked about the Black Hawk people that have died. They've only talked about the figure skaters.
No one is. I did start seeing it was three soldiers, but nobody's really. I did see that. I don't know if that's true. Immediately last night, they were like, no dignitaries, because you don't know who the hell is flying on a Black Hawk. I don't know.
Or you could have congressmen flying in on the plane on the regular jet.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. Of course, there was this a hit, so it's wild. It's terrible. Like, and then there was one, I didn't share it. That's one clip if you want to see it. This poor bastard. You can't. I mean, people are getting after the reporter, but listen, the reporter's in the airport, and there's this guy sitting there, and he's like, "Sir, were you waiting for somebody on this flight?" He looked, American guy, but if you see the clip, he's like, probably of Indian or Middle Eastern descent, and he's like, "Yeah, my wife was on the plane. She texted me." Landing in 20 minutes. So I'm here.
Oh, no.
And he's like, I'm just hoping they pull her out of the river. Like, it was so, and then, but they get after the reporter because he's like, can you read the text she sent us? And the poor guy's like in shock. He did. It's really just, anybody could relate to that, right? We're all on, pick people up from the airports. I just can't imagine. It's fucking horrible.
No, that's tragic.
Hopefully, there was an explosion. Family. Hopefully these people went really quick. Didn't even know what hit. Right?
I'm sure some of them did. I'm sure some of them died on impact in the river. I don't know. It's terrible. Ooh.
Worst plane crash since Buffalo 2009. Is that what I saw?
Something the worst
in the U.S.
Domestic. Yeah. That Buffalo one was weird. Do you remember that? I think about that because I fly to Buffalo every year.
I don't know why I don't remember it that well.
It was a prop plane, like a Continental prop plane out of Newark. I remember, and it just like crashed into houses on the way into Buffalo. That was a weird one.
So, you made the comment, this shouldn't happen, But at the same time, if you look at the number of flights out there, it's a miracle it doesn't happen even more.
Yeah, no.
There's so many.
Yeah. Well, that's why I guess I say it shouldn't happen, because the amount of traffic that's managed on a daily basis, there must be great processes, great technology. It is amazing when you look at it always. And what I was thinking about too, like, all right, I was just on a flight 2 weeks ago, and I don't freak out on planes, but I'm a little nervous. I don't like when planes get bumpy. You try to fight those thoughts off of falling out of the sky, right? And I always feel relaxed when we start the descent and you're coming into the airport. It's like you could see houses. You're like, all right. Almost in my head, like, if I fell from the plane from here, I'd be all right. Like, these people were like 2 minutes from being on the ground.
Yeah, they were right there.
Ugh, terrible. Anyway, we had to touch on that.
Have to.
We'll see where.
Great coverage again. Can't understate it.
Try.
Thank you.
It was. I hit it right, because literally I saw the first tweet. Like, some guy was like, "I live near DCA. That's the code for that airport. Just heard an explosion." I'm like, what's this? I'm searching Twitter and nothing's cut. And then all of a sudden it was like, boom. Wild.
I missed all your coverage last night. I saw it this morning.
You were making the bed?
The bed was already made, man. But I was in bed. I was watching the Knicks beating up on Denver.
Sounds like I'm going to have to start tuning into those Sons of Guns. They're playing well.
They are. They're a little inconsistent, but I think part of, it is a pretty dramatically changed team from last year. I got a lot of new blood.
The Knicks don't play on MSG, or you don't have Optimum?
No, they're on ESPN. So the one nice thing about basketball.
Is that MSG thing still going on?
Yeah, I think it is. But
shit.
No Islanders.
Basketball.
I'm not missing much, but I can't watch them if I wanted to.
Basketball gets a lot of national coverage on ESPN and TNT, which is nice. Hockey, barely once in a while you get a game, but then with the Knicks playing better, they're nationally televised a lot more, I think.
Yeah, I forgot about the MSG thing. How quickly our news cycle changes. I wonder how their subscribership to the Gotham app is doing.
That thing is such a ripoff. I can't imagine it's doing very well.
Well, if they didn't settle yet, they must have got some subscriptions, or they're willing to wait it out.
Probably got some, but I think they combined with another, like Yes and them combined for that Gotham app. And that's probably why it's so expensive. It's like $30-something, $40 a month for that thing.
Yeah.
Very outpriced. Like, you get the Cock or ESPN Plus.
Love
you get
the
both
Cock.
of them.
I have to say I caved and I went back to Paramount.
Yeah.
I justified it by returning one of my cable boxes.
Well, you know what? You keep it and you catch up on shows and stuff.
Well, for the soccer, you know me. They have this year. They have more than they had last year. So Peacock's got Premier League.
Right.
Paramount always had the Champions League, which I got like at the end last year just to watch like the semis and all that shit. But now they have the Championship, right, which is the level beneath Premier League, which I actually like watching those matches. And then they have like everything besides the Premier League. So I do like watching soccer, so I use the app like every day. There's always something on. It's only like, it's like $7. It's the single digit per month, which is like kind of my line.
I just watched Landman, which is on Paramount. Tyler Sheridan.
Is that going to make GarTV? I can watch it on Paramount, but for others,
it happens to be on GarTV as well.
So now that we're talking about GarTV, let's get Bosco's attention.
Severance.
Oh yeah.
Apple TV Plus.
What a show!
They've nailed it. Like, that first season was good, mysterious.
It's great.
The second season, I feel like they are just smashing it, turning
we're
into
2 episodes in, right?
Yeah, like they're really hitting so many elements. Like, everything they do is
today.
good.
Oh, is it today? Did we get a new one today?
No, it's Fridays, I think.
Oh, today's not Friday.
Damn it! Got my hopes up. Well,
The
GarTV
first
always
week-
has a day delay.
The first week they released it on Thursday. They do a teaser on usually. They've been doing that. They did that with Silo as well.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of their shows they release it a day early, but I believe they're a Friday release.
Yeah. So if you people like TV, Severance, and I think it covers. We know people have different tastes and shows, and I think this is one of those that everybody will like.
Well, it is weird.
I guess
I like that about shows.
I'm used to weird.
I love that.
It doesn't even feel that weird anymore, I guess, because we're so sucked in. We're like a season through. But yeah, in the beginning, it was a little weird.
But at the same time, in the beginning, it was that Office Space type of theme.
Yep, had the vibe of
the
that.
boring office interactions, which is just fun to watch.
Right.
As the subplots materialize.
Into the what's the real shit going on.
But you still had the funny interactions between office droids.
It took her a little while to get into it, right? She kept saying this is really
we
weird,
made her
really
fight
weird.
through. We made her fight through. It's Milkshake is the best. I love him.
I love the name Milkshake. Really, all the characters are so good.
Yeah, it's a couple of new. There's particularly a new character this season that I'm interested in. The big guy with the beard.
Oh yeah,
he's the new security guy or what the hell his deal is.
What's on his hand? He has got a tattoo, right, or something?
Yeah, what is it? Got to be significant.
Can't remember. Dennis, you typing it in? You're typing in the notes.
I'm typing in the notes. I put things as I think of them, so I don't interrupt. I write them in the notes.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
When he was in the coffee shop,
I find a reason to bring it up.
They pulled away, and there was a little tattoo on his finger, his thumb or something.
Yeah.
Is that what it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Just great. I don't want to. It's still fresh. I don't want to really get into spoilers, but watch it. Just watch it.
Yeah, we do.
Watch part of the group.
And we're having
a great job in Discord.
We're having a great discussion in Discord.
Yep.
I'm really enjoying that. The theories.
Yeah, you know what's annoying about that? Everything is a spoiler. I want a safe place where I could talk and not have to use special lines.
Not a bad idea, Gary. Can we make like a thread within a thread?
Well, that's not a thread. That is its own dedicated
I don't know.
channel.
Oh, maybe we make a thread for, and you don't have to use spoilers.
You don't have to use spoilers. You only go in there if you're current.
The folks that do Bald Move is a podcast, and they'll do dedicated shows, but they'll create a thread with spoilers for each episode. But we just don't have the foot traffic to justify that. That'd be such a pain in the ass. It's hard to do that because if I fall behind an episode and I want to talk about the episode I'm in, you're kind of going into the thread and everything's open. It's tough. I do like to try to put this episode number in the beginning of my note, but it's working. It's just kind of a pain. You're right.
It's working amazing.
Yeah,
I don't have any social media anymore except for the Discord. I don't find the need to scroll through Instagram and Facebook and see people diarrhea about how great their lives are and their political views that I probably don't like.
You let Mike do it
or the
for
ones
you.
I do like, I don't need to hear it again. So I just go into Discord and I'm happy with it.
You do have to deal with Guar's political views on the Discord.
Yeah, but you know what? He presents it so well.
Yes, he does.
He does a great job that I can really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, to win any argument, you got to argue the opposite. Well, he's giving you the opposite.
Usually. And eventually he'll just quit because his poop will be over.
Yeah. No, I could tell when he's had a difficult dinner. And
well, it's fine. There's just a lot of hot button topics for him right now between RFK Jr. In the news a lot. Obviously, Trump being in office, Tulsi, like all these things. A lot of things that get him fired up very easy.
All the confirmation here. I just flicked on Fox News right before this because I thought maybe I'd just get a little extra intel on the plane crash. But they're doing the confirmation hearings for DenBob's friend from Garden City. Patel. What's his name? Patel?
Yeah.
Right? Is that his name?
Yeah, I remember seeing it. I don't
the
remember.
The guy who rescued BMO's sister outside of Garden City Middle School.
Yeah.
Bosco looks confused.
Yeah,
He
Patel.
doesn't remember these wonderful things, these stories we get.
Patel. Patel.
Yeah. He's trying to become the national FBI director. Kash Patel from Garden City.
Tulsi Gabbard. RFK Jr. All three of them are rolling through today like someday over there.
Did you
DC?
I didn't watch any of it, but there was some viral clips of Bernie Sanders. He is such a cartoon character. It's so funny. He's just like, his voice is unreal. He leans over when he's like yelling at RFK. The RFK and him interaction. You got to go watch some of the clips.
Bernie's great.
They ended up talking about the price of babies' onesies. Bernie's nuts.
He is nuts.
Oh my God. He's such a character. Like, we wouldn't be the same. Like, I want him to always, until he's dead, like, be in the Senate because it's just
Bernie's
funny.
the only one allowed to like repeat. Everybody else should only have 2 terms. Bernie should stay because he's entertainment.
He is entertaining as hell. So, Bosco, I know you're going to ask why I was going to bring up the United States Merchant Marine Academy.
Yeah, why were you going to bring in the Merchant Marine Academy?
Because I will be there this Saturday, like all day. And I want to invite any GarCast listener that likes swimming to come on out. Because Ryan Redmond and the Cortland Red Dragons will be swimming at the United States Merchant Marine Academy Invitational from 11 a.m. to 4:30 p.m.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so we're
nice quick trip.
Yeah, just due north of me. We're gonna head over there, bring Nancy's mom. Smile Line's gonna try to stop by. It'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Rob and Mike are gonna try to stop by.
She's doing such an amazing job. Really great work.
We'll see. We'll see how she does this weekend.
Just taking it to the level that she's taking it is amazing.
Thank you.
That's
so
amazing.
It'll be good. It'll be fun to see her. We don't get to keep her or take her home with us, but
are her grades good as well?
She made the dean's list. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Let's do that. How about
amazing.
that?
Right, because I mean that shouldn't be.
That's really the most important thing, right?
I was like, that was the biggest thing I was worried about because.
I mean, yes and no, unless she wants to be a swim instructor.
I mean, if she was a skater, I think there's some openings on the U.S. Olympic team now, but she's not a skater, so that's not going to help.
Oh, well, that's not funny, Gary.
Sorry.
We'll let people Google that. Let me see if it's. So anyway, it'll be good to see her. They're, we'll just see her at the meet. They got to get on a bus right afterwards and head back. But
that's great.
They are taking a bus down Friday night. It's kind of funny. I'm like, when are you guys coming? Because you could do it. You could leave Saturday morning.
Yeah.
They go to Teaneck, New Jersey, to a Hampton Inn. Like just on the other side of the GW, and just sleep there so they can wake up in the morning. And
this time of the year, they'd probably want to get that buffer in case of snow, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Remember that incident in the Poconos? It was no good. So it'll be good to see her. And she finally started classes this week. The SUNY school starts so late.
Oh, my God. Was this late?
Yeah, like your guys are probably 2 weeks in already.
I think Anthony's at midterms.
Yeah, so back to school.
We had to send Anthony scrubs because he's dissecting dead bodies right now.
Real cadavers?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh. I haven't asked for a lot of the details, but I know he's doing it. He's like, could you send me maybe some scrubs? Because my clothes are kind of getting gross now from doing that. I'm like, why didn't you ask before the semester?
Before you ruin the clothes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got there yesterday.
I would have said scrubs should have been mandatory.
Right.
Jesus. I would think, right?
Dude's probably going in there with his bar shoes.
Forget about getting ruined, but the sanitary.
He's a mess.
Did you ask BMO for some hand-me-downs?
No, they're on Amazon. They're so cheap, and you just have them shipped right there.
Could roll up the pants and roll the sleeves from giant BMO scrubs. That'd be amazing.
It's probably more money to ship them from here than it is to order from Amazon and have them delivered new.
Every time Bosco goes over BMO's house, he steals something medical related. Got a whole collection of stuff.
How about the doppelganger that we saw at BMO online?
I mean, Guar found that, right? Doing the grip strains.
Amazing
find. For those who don't watch, BMO, famous listener on the show, and those who are not on the Discord, somebody posted a grip strength competition. Who was that? Whoever was doing it, I don't know who would even be watching that grip strength.
Guar watches weird shit when he's pooping.
I guess he ran out of things to say. It was a stomachache sort of thing. And there was a doppelganger. This guy looked exactly like him. Lifting, what was he lifting? It was like 135 pounds, holding it in the air.
It wasn't extreme weight that you used to seeing power lifters do, but it was like just your hands.
Yeah.
It was weird. Yeah, it was wild.
Grip strength.
The guy, I mean, his face looked exactly like BMO. Right?
It was exactly the posture, the walk.
Yeah. They have to be related. They got to be related.
It's his twin.
We actually had a grip strength competition in my office one day. It was fun.
What did you grip? I don't even know if I want to know.
What the hell?
Well, carpet samples. How many carpet samples could you fit in your hand and walk? Yeah.
Sure you lost.
My brother. He actually won.
Oh, yeah, your brother's tall and strong, unlike you.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
No, I had like one little 3x3, and that was it. That's all I could fit, in the.
Oh, that's fun. You should do that annually. Like people could train.
Yeah, you do that at your Christmas parties.
Well, it'd be more appropriate than my videos that I'm playing.
Yeah. Well, we wanted. Well, you kind of explained it further. It wasn't as bad as we originally thought.
But it wasn't that good either. but it still wasn't that good. And after listening, I switched it up. No more. I'm not treading the line anymore. That's work. DenBob.
Yeah, be careful. So, Gary, you mentioned shipping.
Yes.
So I have a little beef, Sumu. Not particularly with him, but with his employer, the Royal Mail.
Yes.
So the day we were leaving, and Smile Lines reminded me of this. I do like to do it. She was trying to get me to do it in the Philippines, and if you recall, those of you who listen to every episode, I struggled to even find postcards in the Philippines to mail back to my nephews and my kids and all that. So it never happened. So she's like, you got to do it from London. I'm like, all right. I'm kind of forgetting about it. I kept saying to Nancy, we got to do that. The last day we're walking, and just like Manhattan, they have those racks outside, like 4 postcards for whatever. Bought 4 of them. No, 5. No, 4. 1 for the Rafferty boys. That's Smile Line's sons. And then 1 for Ryan, 1 for Rig, and 1 for Ellie. And then the nice guy even was like, do you want stamps? Like, perfect. Sold me stamps. They were quite expensive.
It's funny you said that. I just heard this weekend, I was at Costco. The guy in front of me bought a book of stamps.
Yeah.
And he was like, wait, are you sure about the price?
Oh, yeah.
The guy in the counter told me there's 73 cents a stamp.
Yeah, I think it's the last time this was the last year I'm doing Christmas cards because that was outrageous. I just bought 10 stamps and 70 whatever the heck cents.
730.
So in the UK, I don't know if this guy was in London just ripping me off. I don't know. He's like, "Do you want stamps?" He seemed like an honest fellow. I'm like, "Yeah, I guess 4." He's like, "They're £2.79 each." I'm like, "Whoa,
sounds high."
Yeah, that's like $3.50. But I'm like,
how they got to pay Sumu. He's making that kind of money. You got to get.
So that's my first gripe. I should have brought my Royal Mail shirt that he gave me. Maybe I would have got some discount. But fine. We go to the hotel lobby. We fill them out, put stamps on them. I'm like, you know what? Let me ask the girl at the front desk. Excuse me, would you be able to mail these for me? She's like, absolutely, no problem. So every day I go to the mailbox. I didn't tell anybody we sent these. I'm excited, like a little kid.
Nothing.
It's been a week and 3 days.
It could also be the woman though that you asked to take care of it, right?
Well, it could be the guy sold me the wrong stamps.
Or it could be the U.S. Post Office that's the hiccup. The Royal Mail could have legitimately sent it properly, but it could be getting hicked up here.
It's probably RFK Jr.'s fault.
Could be. RFK Jr. Can't rule him out.
So our points of failure are wrong stamp from the guy in the store. Lady at the front desk of the Doubletree Hilton chucked them in the garbage.
Yep.
Forgot about them. They're in her bag. Royal Mail is doing God knows what with them, and they're still on that side of the pond, or they're somewhere in the U.S. postal system screwed up. Or my mailman Ravi liked the pictures on it. No, but so went to 3 different places. 2 are coming here. 1's going to Cortland, and 1's going to Rockaway. So kind of eliminates
your local mail.
It's not the Floral Park and the post office here.
Right.
It could be a central international sorting facility at JFK or something.
It's not like customs needs to go through that, though. It's a piece of paper. Right? I mean,
it could also just be stuck in a machine somewhere, but what are the odds of all 4 of them being stuck in a machine?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'll keep everybody posted.
All right.
Posted.
Oh, thank you.
And Sumu, if you have anybody in the... I don't know how they would find these.
You're never going to find it.
They were mailed on Monday, the day I was leaving from the Doubletree Hilton. They're nice London pictures. Anyway, it's my gripe.
Good gripe. Speaking of gripes, any gripes about the Super Bowl matchup this year?
I don't know.
I think the 2 best teams got in.
I mean, probably.
But I'm just I don't like Philly fans, and I don't like Kansas City anymore, so it really makes it tough.
Yeah. I mean, I think I will root. I don't know. It's a tough one to even say. Usually, I do know who I'm going to root for.
A team. Just going to watch.
I kind of like. You're going to root for Saquon, though.
I do like Saquon. If somebody's going to do well in the game, I would like it for him. And I actually really like Pacheco as well for Kansas City, the running back. Rutgers guy.
I mean, he's not really hard. Wasn't really part of the team this year. Kareem Hunt's getting most of the carries now after he broke his leg.
Because every time Pacheco touches the ball, you feel like he just looks better. But I don't know. They know more than I do. They're even there.
We'll see. Bosco, new Jets coach, start of a new era, going to change everything. What are you feeling?
No good.
Are you upset that he's got no real coaching experience?
He has zero coaching experience.
I know that's what Boomer was
coordinator, on about. And he was a good cornerback. Come on.
I think of the two coaches from Detroit, I think he's better because if Pat McAfee's been talking a lot about culture. I think that Aaron Glenn's going to have a good culture. You don't really have to be a great player coach at that point. You need to know how to handle media. Woody Johnson, all the bullshit that goes on with that job.
I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm not going to say it's good. I've learned
until it is.
Nobody has any clue what the hell's a good hire.
Ryan was the one to turn that.
Rex never. Down. I mean, he did.
Been fun.
He was a winner, but he didn't win it all. Would have been a good
story.
Oh, is that me?
We've lost our leader. I hope we're actually recording the show.
I'm back.
Gary, you all right?
My internet's been bouncing lately a lot.
Did that affect the recording of this episode?
Nope. You guys just faded for a second.
You were completely frozen.
Last night, it happened when I was playing a video game. Twice.
Was it when somebody was reading a story to you?
Yeah, tell us about the book Fraser's reading to you.
He's not reading a book to me. I am reading a book.
Sorry, a graphic novel. I forgot what it was.
I am reading a book that Fraser recommended. Actually, I have it right here. Sapiens.
I am intrigued, actually. It's
actually a very cool book. We were playing one night, and he's like, dude, I was reading this book. He goes, I completely thought of you. I'm like, send it over. He's like, it's a graphic novel, though. He's like, so it's a little different.
Open it up. Let me see what that looks like. I've never read a graphic novel.
I mean, it's like a comic book. I think Guar had read this, but
hold on, get it closer. Yeah, I think that would annoy the shit out of me.
I just read. There's a lot to kind of digest.
It's like a comic book.
Yeah.
Can you read us a little? Give us a sample.
I can't even read anymore.
Come on. Yeah, the glasses are going on.
I can't see, dude.
Maybe every episode you read us a page.
And I think you got to hold it up so we can see the pics too.
Yeah, go ahead.
Share your screen or something.
Give us a taste.
Let's see.
Anything. It doesn't be particular. We just want to get the sense of how this person writes.
Use different voices as well.
I can't do voices.
Here we go.
Until the cognitive revolution, sapiens were just another species of animal. They belong to the realm of biology, and we use biological theories to understand them.
That was and there's the pictures. Yeah. Well done.
It's pretty cool. I think I would recommend it. It's pretty. If it's the evolution of sapiens. Christine kind of misconstrued it and thought it was the evolution from single cells to sapiens. It's when sapiens were around and Neanderthals were around. That would be
a real thriller of a graphic novel. Single cells to sapiens. Can you write that one? Oh my God.
So, I mean, there's a lot of theories why we won the race as opposed to the other different types of human species that were around and things like that. So,
the Neanderthals actually were around a lot longer than anybody wants to admit.
They were big and strong, but
a lot of new findings coming out about them.
The big thing about us was we were good gossipers. Is what it's weird because you read this and you're like, well, how could they know we were good gossipers? But I guess they do it based on findings of how people were built together and maybe art and stuff like that. But they, we were great gossipers where they kind of didn't trust people from what they say, and we were able to kind of go in there and take over because we would communicate with each other about. There's lions over there. Don't go there. Where they were very small-minded, small tribes. We were big. We were able to communicate.
What is we and them? Aren't we all sapiens?
Talking about Neanderthals.
Sapiens versus Neanderthals as an example. We wiped them off the earth.
Wait a minute. Didn't they just turn into us? I thought the Neanderthals
No.
There's that one picture, right, that they put
completely different line of evolution.
Where it's the evolution of ape up to man. Yeah. A lot of people think that it's really kind of a bullshit diagram.
Really? The Neanderthal didn't just stand up straight and become a sapien?
No, Neanderthals were peers of ours. They were around
like our cousins. Like monkeys are cousins, chimpanzees are cousins. They were cousins as well.
Huh.
But a lot more evidence is coming out that the Neanderthals were kind of migrated to some of the same places that we did that we didn't think they did. They may have been around longer than we thought they did. And then their demise is kind of like
It's a big mystery. Did we kind of intermate with them, or did we take them over? Did we wipe them out like we do everything else? So.
And this is in your Sapien book?
It's in the book. Yeah, I think there's like 4 books. I think he does a series of them. I'm about halfway through. It's a lot to read, so I only read a few pages each night. But
I like the
cool.
book. The idea of a book is better than reading a Kindle. I think.
I agree.
I laugh because I see it on your list.
Yeah, it's on my list. I covered it.
When I had the Kindle, I didn't love reading that as much as a book, like you're saying. It was obviously easier to carry around. You could have multiple books on there. But I did like that if I was listening to the audio Kindle version and then went to the Kindle on the Kindle book, it actually picked off right where I left off with the audio. Like they worked together. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good feature. I like it.
There you go. Well, that's an interesting... thank you for reading that to us.
Certainly.
It does intrigue me, and I will be refreshing my memory on Neanderthals. I have the Wikipedia page up because I do find it very interesting.
Yeah, I would recommend this book.
I had no idea. I thought it was all that ape guy standing up straighter.
Yeah.
Had no idea.
No. Yeah.
No idea.
There you go. Look what you learned today. I'm proud that
we didn't gossip
reading.
as much. We might have been taken out, and everybody would be all hunched over and have the hairy beards.
I feel like
there's a lot of different elements to it. The gossip, they seriously think that our ability to communicate and live in larger groups is what helped us. Like,
I mean, I think it's the intelligence. We
were all intelligent.
I don't think they were as intelligent as us.
Maybe they were too nice. They weren't as cunning. They weren't evil. They didn't know how to win
because they weren't smart enough to be evil. To be cunning, you need to be smart.
The
you know what the other person is thinking and trick them.
They were bigger and stronger.
Yeah, but
muscular.
Their brains outdo the brawn every time.
Usually,
we've seen that.
I don't think the brains were that
little
different.
And weak like me is even on this earth. If it wasn't for the intelligence,
maybe our women were hotter.
Yeah,
and then they would take our women, but then by doing so, they would dwindling down their genetics because they were interbreeding.
I mean, our women were totally hotter.
Right.
Totally.
You know, the one thing that's popped up in my head as I'm reading this, and I'm kind of getting forward in the evolution, but it's interesting that people in different regions have different features, right? Like redheads are more popular, maybe in like Northern Ireland and stuff like that. In Asia, you have people with eyes that are like different than ours.
Just forget the red hair. You have Asian people, black people.
Right.
You know,
like how long?
I'm thinking about the redheads.
I know it's because of the environment you were in, right? Is what affected that stuff. But how long does it take for your genetics to start to change? Where everybody's different.
That's what you were told. It's because of the environment.
Well, I mean, we all came from the same place. We all came from a little place in Africa.
Well, that's up for debate as well.
Sapiens. That's what. Well, right. Apparently, maybe there could be a conspiracy against that, but Sapiens started in Africa, and we started to move out and take over the world.
But at what point, okay, I'll give you some of the crazy shit I watch. You watch Ancient Aliens and stuff. Yeah, and I did take, just so you know, I did one of my favorite classes in college was biogeography. Ooh. Awesome class. It was about the dispersion of peoples across the planet and how it happened and why they ended up. Exactly what you're talking about. Super interesting. Super interesting. But, was there outside interference? Was our DNA altered at some point? Where certain things happened? Did somebody do something?
It's a great question.
Sprinkle that in.
I don't know how long that would take.
Right. And then there's debates on how long these things did take. Like if you look at some of these timelines, we're debunking some of the ages of structures and things like that now that have been found and that they're much older than we thought they were. Then when you look at some of this, it's like, okay, so we went from hunter-gatherers, and then one day we were just like, oh, bam, let's build a city, grow crops, and, do all this other shit. Like, a lot of the timelines are funky.
You should read this book.
I think I'd love it. Sounds great.
Or you could just read the Bible. It answers all those questions.
Bible is a myth.
The Old Testament actually lays all this out. You're right.
Religion is a myth. The book does talk about that as well, and that's another reason why we were able to grow, because we had a common belief in a story, a myth, gods, and things of that nature.
Well, now, so but okay, that doesn't have anything to do with the Neanderthals, though, because
No. Well, the Neanderthals maybe didn't think that way, right?
I'm sure they were howling at the moon just like we were.
So, but anyway, I know it's good stuff.
It makes my head spin. Like, I love it. This topic. I could.
Yeah, I know.
Think about how long human, whatever the hell types have been. How old Earth is. Like,
yeah,
we could be on. And now you get me into my freaking how we started this conversation in the sim. You know, history repeating itself, things like that. Like, I don't know. It's wild. Time is wild.
Time. Speaking of time, we're getting a little short on it. We do need to read an email, I
Language,
believe.
please. Short. I don't like the word short.
Oh, I thought you were making an announcement. I was a little excited.
No, I just don't like it. I was, we should be respectful of others.
Oh, I haven't done
short on time, but we do have an email.
I haven't done this yet today. It just makes me happy.
The right banana.
And I did want to apologize to everybody who is on the Discord if they were offended. Again, I just want to put it out there by Rebecca taking photos of secret photos of innocent little people on the subway. I was wrong.
It was wrong.
And the only reason I saved the photo was to remind her every now and then when she gets off track and she's getting offensive. I'll throw that out there and put her back in her place. She gets a little wild sometimes. Anyway, very exciting. I just opened this up and I'm happy to say we have 3 emails.
Whoa. I saw one this morning, I think.
3. No, not said. Wrong thing.
Oh.
3. All right. The first one's from Andy Shaw, who just sent a message on the Discord saying, "We're recording right now. Please don't reply to this message because no one likes to hear you typing." So I replied from my phone. Okay. Andy Shaw, everyone's favorite masshole. The subject is Sue 5.
Not Sue Moon.
Garnation, let's wish a happy birthday to the mighty Sunil. Is it Sunil's birthday today?
Happy birthday, Sue.
Happy birthday.
Excellent. I will have to send him a text message. Keep rocking, my man. And to the esteemed Gar panel, keep killing it. You guys have been awesome. Love hearing your thoughts. And Nottinghamian, a good word, Nottinghamian adventures. Yeah, I did think of a story I didn't tell last week. It's brief, I promise. Cheers, LLAS. Let's call that guy Lass. Thank you, Andy. Oh, the loyalist of listeners, Miss Jackie O'Donoghue with an email.
Always nice to hear.
Wonderful. Subject is epic fail.
Oh,
okay. No.
Ooh. Hi all. I meant to send this after the waffle party episode. By the way, I love that name of an episode, but I failed. Great episode as usual. Funny enough, earlier that week, I had a work bonding party. Timeout. What in the hell is a work bonding party? And how soon is Bosco now going to have one at his office that Benny won't go to?
Absolutely, next week is going to be a work bond.
You know how much Gar just fucking shakes thinking about something like that.
So make it a waffle party, Bosco, and take pictures.
Oh my God, with the jazz.
And bobbing for pineapples. That hurts. All right, so she had a working bonding party. Here we go. We went bowling at Dave & Buster's as a team. Gary, that makes me think about
boss would do that
a very lame holiday party we had at Dave & Buster's once.
Yep.
Pro tip, if you ever bowl there, the lanes slope to the left. Ooh, good way to make money. Dennis has to charge... What? Oh, Dennis has to charge, we should have had that in quotes, is the modern day going for an onion. Yes, it is. I do love his charging adventures. No reason you can't keep that rolling even after you're out of free charges. 100%. Nobody needs to know. I loved hearing the stories about Redmond and Nancy's trip. I was only a little jealous not to be back there. Maybe we can plan a GarCast UK tour hosted by the host with the most, Liz and Christian. I'm totally down for that. We'll get T-shirts, the whole thing.
Down for that.
T-shirts, like
Jackie,
like in high school.
We'll get T-shirt. Everybody has the same shirt. It says GarCast on tour with the year on it. Obviously, we'll have plenty of time to plan since Mike practically lives in his car these days. Yes. My last point. I was remiss, to sound serious, in my last email to not mention the best part of 2024, Guar's closing. There was a definite void when the music was taken away, but I don't think anything else could have filled it better. Except for the musical stylings of Rebecca. Yes, let's give Rebecca a round of applause. Please. Amazing talents, yes.
That was great. What a great way to end the show last week, huh?
The right banana. The right banana. The right banana.
Loved it. I wonder if anyone else has any musical talents they would like to share. I do not. Gary dabbles in the.
I'm playing around with the guitar, but I don't have skills.
And Bosco is a demon on the kazoo.
And Bebo plays the drums now and the bass.
Yeah, he's really going through a midlife crisis, isn't he? And he's a young man. It's really hitting him hard. I believe as of last night, he was quitting his current profession, moving to Hawaii. He's going to learn how to surf and make swords. I think that's what he's going to do. He's leaving it all behind. Man's having a tough run. Cheers to warmer weather and hopefully seeing everyone soon, Jackie. What a wonderful email. I got to say.
Thank you for that.
Made me feel good.
Great,
all right.
Great feel-good email.
We got it. He's home all alone these days, probably.
Yeah, I mean, poor
hubby's
Mike.
busy.
He had to be in work very early the other day. I texted him that night, like, "Hey,
3 o'clock in the morning?" He said he was.
Yeah, he had to report, and he told me he went to bed at 5 p.m. and slept till like 3:30 or something.
Well, thank you, Mike, for keeping us safe.
Way to go, buddy! All right, here we go. What's up, fellas? It's Guarlito. Overdue as fuck, but it's all part of the simulation.
Did he ever finish his list of people he hated the most?
I don't think it ever ends, does it?
Yeah, he did part of it, and then he said he'd return back with more.
Maybe this is it. Here we go. Men of Gar. Wow, been too long since my last email. Oh, this was sent. What time is it? Oh, during the show.
Ooh.
Wow, been too long since my last email. I'm going to go into Gar speed mode a little bit. There's a lot here. Feels almost like a confessional here. Gar will be clueless with this, but Red knows the deal. Bless me, GarFather. It's been 2 or 3 months since my last email. Since then, I have laughed at images of midgets, poked at the Gar by mentioning him in the musicals channel, and I have had lustful thoughts towards John Berenthal as we wait the next Daredevil series. But I have, as usual, been an avid listener the whole time. You guys have never missed an episode, and I don't think I've ever missed listening to an episode since day 0, and have never let episodes accumulate, so there's 2 in the queue. So even though my emails may be lacking, my listening never falters. And for good reason. You guys kill it every week. I've been loving the Severance coverage, of course. It's not only such a good, well-executed show from story to acting, but one where you think about its philosophical and moral implications a good while after each episode. Plus, trying to figure out where the show is going is one of my favorite things to see pop up on the Discord. Such good stuff. Agreed. I absolutely loved all of Red's recaps on his English adventures. So freaking great. More on that later. But okay, now what prompted my email. Do we live in a simulation? Here you go, Bosco. We can never really know, but I will go into why such a thing might be happening from a science-based point of view. You'll like this, Red. It involves superposition. Oh, that show.
Oh,
wow, that show.
Superposition. We went from beds to superposition.
Okay, I will try to be brief here and summarize a lot. I think he's going to teach us all quantum mechanics in this one email. But basically, quantum mechanics came out in physics around the 1920s, and it seemed nutso back then. Still does. For the next 100 years, it's been proven correct through every kind of rigorous experimental testing. So much that there are now many devices, some we use every day based on weirdo quantum principles. Like there's a tiny, almost insignificant chance if you run into a wall, you'll go through it, and lots of other madness. This will never happen.
I remember those things.
There's a chance based on quantum, and we see similar stuff happen at the atomic scale. Quantum also works in our giant world. You could design a bridge with quantum mechanics, but why would you use all that effort? Just use continuum mechanics, which works well at our scale.
That's what I would say.
Physics most of us remember from high school, where you put a ball on an inclined plane, etc. Anyway, one of quantum's biggest claims is superposition. Basically, shit is in this state of being undefined. There's no object permanence that we all believe. That is, it's undefined until it's measured, seen, etc. We see this all the time in the atomic scale with, let's say, electrons. So basically, the universe as we know it is in the state of superposition unless it's somehow interacted with. This is exactly what video game programmers do when designing a game with a main character. Everything from their point exists when the point of view is pointed at it. But when the main character looks elsewhere in the game to save bandwidth, that formerly existing thing gets put in a holding pattern, much like superposition, until it's interacted with again. Thus, we seem to all be in a universe that acts strangely like it would if it were a simulation, where we were plopped into as brains in buckets connected to sensors, which we also are. Pretty cool stuff. There's more, but I feel Red's vocal cords have suffered enough. Loquacious listener, Guar out. Everybody get all that? Everybody take notes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was amazing.
Makes all sense.
It is wild shit. And that show, what was the name of that show? With
Dark
the box? Dark Matter. That show was fucking nuts.
Matter. Yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody, for the emails. That was fantastic. The one thing I forgot to tell, and I'll leave everybody with this to think about. We get off the plane. It takes a while because we're row 70. We get to the immigration hall. You know, I'm like, now Nancy was taking care of her own passport. I had my own passport. And they're like, have your passports out. I got mine in my hand with my boarding pass, right? Long line. She's got, all of a sudden she's like, Michael, this is not my passport. This is not my passport. I'm like, what? I walk over and she's holding a passport of like a Middle Eastern young man. I'm like, what the fuck? Like immediately my spidey senses are going off like somebody's effing with us.
Yep.
I'm like, Nancy, where did you get this from? I don't know. I'm like, do you have your passport? She looks in her bag. She has her passport. So I'm like, okay. Well, I grab it from her. It's got a boarding pass in it. I'm like, wait a minute. This is the guy who was sitting right behind me. I'm like, what? I'm like, Nancy, she couldn't remember where she just pulled it out from. She had like no idea. Like she was freaking out. So I'm like, what do I do? Do I just throw it on the floor? Pretend I never had it? So I went over to the guy working in the room, just guiding traffic. And he's like, I don't want it. I'm like, okay. He's like, maybe give it to the agent when you go up there. I'm like, all right. So now we get online. I'm like, I really don't want to go up there. Because what if this guy is like, where'd you get that? All right, stand to the side. We're going to have to interview you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
So now I'm staring at I was pretty calm. Nancy's freaking out. I'm staring at where you come from off the plane. Because now I'm like, if this isn't funny business, this guy is like flipping out right now. And he's got them tearing apart the plane.
Yeah.
So luckily the line was long, like 15, 20 minutes. I see him. And he was easy to recognize because he was with a blonde girl with bright red glasses. Like I remember her.
And you had his picture in your hand.
And I had his picture. And
detective.
Now I'm like, Nancy, I'm going. She's like, Michael, slow down. She's like, I like start running back through the line. She's like, you're lucky they didn't come out and tackle you like you was some sort of nut. And I go up to him, I'm like, hey. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, I have your passport. And he's like, oh, like. He wasn't super like, I would have been like, holy shit, man, thank you. He was like, oh, thanks. I just had them looking for it. Like, I didn't know what to say. I'm like, here. He's like, it was like very like anticlimactic.
Maybe he loses it a lot.
I don't know.
How do you think he lost it in her bag?
No idea. I don't know.
Like, that's the weird thing.
Maybe it fell out of the compartment up top.
Did he drop it on the floor and she was getting her shit? Like, you can pass things under the seats, Like... I don't know. Huh. To this day, we have no idea how it got.
Maybe he was up to no good, and you ruined it.
That part
to lose his passport.
You know how my brain works. A part of me still thinks something was up. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
I thought of that after the show. I was like, oh, I forgot to tell that story. If I don't tell it, I'll forget it. It's
good.
Wild.
That is
interesting shit.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, that, by the way, total simulation thing too.
Yes, of course.
Because maybe her passport really wasn't there, and then it was like, but then it kind of reappeared. But
because they were like, oh, no, we didn't want to do that. Let's fuck with Bosco. Leave Nancy alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Well,
find my postcards. Sumu. Oh, and just hold on. Sorry. Forrest lost last week. They got killed.
Yeah.
5-0.
Yep.
It's because Nancy forgot to wear the lucky socks that Christian and Liz gave her. Right. I take partial responsibility. I forgot to remind her.
We'll fix that right up.
Socks will be on this week. 7:30 game, first game of the week against Brighton. Sumus will be in the house. Socks will be on. Let's go.
Excellent. Liverpool with 2 games this weekend.
The makeup game against Everton. Good call.
Mm-hmm. Maybe double captaining someone or triple captain.
I do have Mr. Salah.
Yeah, I think he's time for a triple for him.
Thank you.
For me. So.
All right.
Costco's
all over it.
Until next time, be Garific.
Gar out.
Have a great day.
See you when we do this episode again in a new version of the simulation.
Maybe they'll be moving on to somebody else instead of screwing up with me.
Never.
Maybe not.
Never. There's one where it's not even the world according to Gar. There is somewhere where it's the world according to Bosco.
Yes.
In the Garverse.
I gotta go join that world. I gotta get a superposition.
All right, later, boys.
Peace.
I pledge allegiance to the family of the United GarCast of the Discord, and to the Montana commune that we will all meet up at when humanity finally craps the bed. One Gar Nation, under God, or thoughts, with a vow to be excellent to one another, and to always follow that one simple rule: don't be a dick. Gar pluribus unum.